Do you know anyone in the Illuminati?
No.
Are you in the Illuminati?
No.
How did the American Civil War start and why?
You want to talk about one of the weirdest things in biology? It's called the Wallace line.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Y'all, we got a good one coming up today. We got bear attacks. We got Mr. Beast. We got the Wallace line. We got lie detector tests, plus a lot more, y'all. Make sure you guys watch from start to finish. It really helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's do what we came here for. Let's get into it. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
I didn't hear him growl. I didn't hear him roar. I didn't hear him step on branches and break them. I just saw him coming at me. I lifted my gun up because I already had it in my hand. I fired it and it misfired. I spun it right back to that dead shell.
Oh my gosh.
But the next thing I knew, it misfired, and I probably said a few choice words and rolled my eyes. I don't know, but the next thing I remember is his nose was about the same size as my fist. And that's one of my bear strategies, is to punch him in the nose if I had to, if it got to that. So that's always been my strategy. And I got a hole here and a hole there. And I'm assuming he got me when I tried to punch him. But the next thing I remember after the click and the ocean is he had me by the jaw. And he picked me up by my jaw off the ground. And I could see the father running towards me. And in my first edition there, it says, I yelled, "Help me." But the more I think about it, it's like, I don't think I could have said anything with him having a hold of my jaw. But I know I thought "help me" in my mind. To me, I said "help me." And at that point, the bear bit down, and I could just hear and feel it breaking my jawbone.
Oh my gosh.
And at that moment, I'm assuming, I don't remember the rest of the attack. The next thing I remember is he was running away. I could just see his butt running away from me.
Wow.
And but he actually clawed my chest, collapsed my lung.
Oh my gosh.
And then he bit my leg, and you can tell he bunched up my muscle right there when he bit. And that's the hole that was bleeding the worst. I knew I was bleeding more out of that puncture in my leg than I was out of my jaw.
Everyone laughs it off like nobody uses pennies anyway, right? That's the trick. They strip away the smallest thing that you think has any value. And what comes next? They keep taking and keep taking to create a digital society. Just like the old story of the frog in boiling water. If you drop a frog in boiling water, what happens? It jumps right out. But if you boil it slowly, it'll stay there and die. This is how you boil a society without it realizing that it's in hot water.
You want to talk about one of the weirdest things in biology? It's called the Wallace line. It's essentially an imaginary barrier that exists between these islands that kind of separates a lot of like Australia, Asian countries. And essentially, everything on one side of the line is very definitive, like this kind of plants, these kind of animals. The other side of the line, even though the climates are damn near identical, just wildly different. Like, we can't figure out why there's an imaginary line. And this line goes through land, by the way, in some places. And within, like, a couple miles this way and a couple miles that way, everything is wildly different. Even though it's receiving the same amount of rainfall, the same temperatures, theoretically, it should be the exact same everything. But it's the only place in the world where there's a distinct, very different biodiversity going on each side of this line. It's one of the things we're studying right now to figure out is there some kind of electromagnetic field we're not picking up on that makes these plants and animals behave and evolve differently than these plants and animals. Like, for example, the left side of the Wallace line has elephants. It has tigers, but no marsupials. The right side of the Wallace line, kangaroos, wallabies, but no big cats, no big, land mammals like elephants. The best theory of this is if you follow the deep sea trench of the Wallace line, there is a very massive tectonic plate right there. And they think that millions of years ago, that was a physical barrier, and things did just come out differently on both sides, So even though it's not a barrier today, it's a barrier that's so rooted essentially in like the DNA makeup of the creatures of that part of the world. They're wildly different. Here's another wild example. Bali and Lombok, both Indonesian countries, are only 20 miles apart from each other. These are two islands, so they're both isolated, 20 miles apart from each other. Wildly different. Bali has the Indonesian, typical animals. Lombok has all of the Australian typical animals. They're 20 miles apart. But because that trench line, like we talked about, they might as well have been on two different parts of the world. And like I said, that whole tectonic plate thing is just a theory because birds should be able to go over that, right? Nope, the birds are wildly different on each side too.
Wow.
On the east side, you have woodpeckers, but no like parrots and stuff. On the west side, you do have parrots, but no like other typical birds like woodpeckers. Also, the west side has many kinds of monkeys that, a trek like that would be easy for them to make it over. East side, no monkeys. No. Which then points back to the theory of, is it an electromagnetic field issue? Are the birds not wanting to fly over that deep sea trench because there's something going on that we can't, pick up on? Like the reason why we have so many problems with the Bermuda Triangle. Like, is there just so many magnetic fields just bouncing off the walls? It messes with their migration patterns. It messes with their navigation. So they just avoid it.
You got to see the alignment for even with content creators and who they're aligning with. Mr. Beast, he just aligned with the Rockefellers. What type of move is that?
What kind of shit is going on?
So we're talking a guy named Mr. Beast.
Beast System.
Who is aligning with the Beast System. So get this, two things. Mr. Beast gets with Rockefeller and he is doing charity work. Now he's over there helping people in Africa, kids and all this stuff with the Rockefeller Foundation. Now two things. For one, have you guys seen his food line, Feastables?
Yeah.
Mr. Beast?
Yes, Mr.
Nah,
Beast.
break it down.
Okay, so there is a particular, I believe is a Sour Patch brand in Feastables. If you look on the bag, it has these little swirlies. Now, what does it look like?
The PDF file symbol, right?
The PDF
Boy
file
lover?
symbols that came from the FBI raid disclosure that they have in 07.
Interesting.
Showing the triangles, swirls, looks exactly like it. That's one. Now you're helping kids in Africa. Weird, but also the fact that you're teaming up with Rockefeller, they, for one,
That can never be good.
yeah, that can never be good. Let's run down real quick who they are. They funded the school system.
Oh, the original indoctrination camp.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know that they funded the school system and they got the idea from war-torn Europe, from Stalin, to indoctrinate kids because whenever they had a war, guess what? Now you have a bunch of indoctrinated kids ready to go to war because you've been in school for 8 hours a day telling them propaganda. The fact that this guy who plays Squid Games with people, look at all his games. He has Squid Game types of content all the time. But tell me why. Mr. Beast, his grandfather worked for Raytheon.
Oh shit.
Who were they? Raytheon is one of the biggest contractors for the military on Earth.
Wow, these people got government ties.
So you have a military contract defense company that is the biggest in the military. You have to look at pattern recognition. Who else is part of the government that's in either tech or content or people who are aligning with these people? Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yeah.
His grandfather is one of the founders of DARPA.
I can't-
Once
So
you
they're
start to put
plants.
the pieces together, you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You aren't really who you say you are.
Yeah, you're not self-made. You ain't get it out the mud.
Seems like it.
You ain't get out the mud, buddy.
How did the American Civil War start and why?
So the American Civil War starts because of our flawed institutions. The founders had mixed views of slavery, but our institutions were designed in ways that gave disproportionate power to slave holders in particular states in the Union. Therefore, that part of the country was, in the words of Abraham Lincoln, holding the rest of the country hostage. For a poor white man like Abraham Lincoln, born in Kentucky, who makes his way in Illinois, slavery was an evil not just for moral reasons. It was an evil because it denied him democratic opportunity. Why would anyone hire poor Abe to do something if they could get a slave to do it for free? The economy of opportunity for him had to be an economy that was open and that did not have slavery, particularly in the new states that were coming into the Union. Lincoln was one of the creators of the Republican Party, which was a party dedicated to making sure all new territory was open to anyone who was willing to work, any male figure who would be paid for their work. Free labor, free soil, free men, basic capitalism. Southerners, Southern plantation owners were an aristocracy that did not want that. They wanted to use slavery and expand slavery into the new territories. What caused the Civil War? The clash. And Southerners, unwilling to accept that change, went to war with the Union.
Joe Biden, who's married to the fucking babysitter for his children, who may or may not have been involved in the fiery car crash that killed his wife.
And he spoke at the.
He had a wife, had kids, had a fucking babysitter, like a nanny that lived in the house.
I need to go down the
There's
fucking
pictures of her
political-
like
I didn't know
sitting
that.
on his lap in chairs and shit. They had an inappropriate relationship for fucking sure. And then his wife just gets in a car accident where her brake fails, and then wham, he marries the nanny.
Hell yeah, brother.
When he lost his mind, that woman was like, I've waited for this. This is my karmic moment, and I'm gonna, like, I get to run the auto pen. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Fuck him, fuck this whole country.
It's going on.
1000%.
It's going on out
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Have you ever seen pictures of her as a nanny with his kids?
Dude, I shoot guns.
She's dude, she fucking
I shoot guns and make YouTube videos, dog. Educated right now, dude.
You didn't know any of that shit about your. I just assume.
No, dude.
I say shit that I assume
Dude,
people know.
you want to
on
know
this,
how
'cause
I
it's
vote?
for you guys.
Whatever politician is current.
I didn't even watch none of this garbage.
Rob has always been compared to the great directors, always. When he directed me and all the great cast and Harry and Sally, they compared him to Woody. When he did Misery, they compared him to Brian De Palma and Alfred Hitchcock. When he began working closely with children, they compared him to Woody. And but what I respect most about Rob is his deep, almost suspicious love for kids, and he freely gives them his time, his money, whatever it takes to get them into the van. But you know, revenge. Do his work for kids.
I always say, you want to see the truth of these celebrities? Go back and watch all those celebrity roasts, right? Go watch those. Go watch them all. They tell you the truth of how it is in Hollywood in forms of a joke, in forms of comedy, right? I'm just a comedian. I'm just a comedian. That annoying excuse, y'all.
You can see there are no other people walking around this cemetery. And with this many graves or plots, you would assume that there are other people. So this is the type of place you do not want to get what they say is caught lacking. My taxi was really scared for me to walk around. Not scared that I would get caught and kicked out, scared that a dangerous person might be lingering here. Wow.
That's crazy.
But there is a cartel war going on, and all sides are buried here, so it's a very touchy subject to be walking around with a camera at this time. So if I put down the
Now, I heard they have, full on AC units in the summer, the heaters in the winter, music playing, they go out there and on birthdays and party, and that's crazy, y'all. That's that wouldn't be allowed here in America. But out there, it's allowed. It's a different world over there.
His biggest backer, John Mappin, has released a very eerie and disturbing Christmas video. Keep in mind that he's a Scientologist and has ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, good afternoon, and a very, very happy Christmas to all of our friends all over the world, and happy holidays to those of you who don't perhaps celebrate Christmas, but you celebrate these holidays that are so important in your own way. Now, in the next 12 months, in the coming year, we are going to all be a witness to extraordinary changes. Some of those changes will be miraculous. Some of those changes will be spectacular. And some of those changes will involve things that you have never in your life seen before or have imagined that are possible. Whatever occurs and whatever changes we will experience, let us remember the friendship that is fundamental between all living souls. And let us appreciate the friendships that you, of course, out there as our friends have extended to us, and we, as your friends, extend to you at this time. From our family to yours, may we wish you a very, very happy Christmas, and we wish you the most extraordinary New Year. I hope you enjoy it.
John Mappin helped found the UK Turning Point branch. Some speculate that he's her handler. It's also been suggested that he helped arrange the marriage between Candace and George Farmer. I already mentioned he's a Scientologist who has ties to Jeffrey Epstein, but Candace Owens surrounds herself with dark characters, supporting Harvey Weinstein and Andrew Tate. When are her followers going to start asking questions about Candace?
Y'all, this is urgent because these three girls right here, these three teens, they all vanished within a week in Bexar County, Texas. I believe this one right here is Camilla, who is 19 years old, and they said she went missing on Christmas Eve, the morning of Christmas Eve. They say she was walking near her home where she vanished, y'all. They say she left her phone, she left all her belongings, and there's no explanation on where she went. Law enforcement's already saying that this ain't normal and she could be in danger. Then, on Christmas Day,
I believe they found her body,
which
yeah.
I believe is her, named Angelic Johnson, who was only 17, vanished. As of right now, there's no details publicly on her, but authorities think she might got her phone. So that could be good, right? And then, just days after that, they say Sophia Gabriella vanished also. They say she disappeared near Landon Ridge at 7 p.m. She's only 14 years old. So you got 3 disappearances, same area, same week. That's not a coincidence. You got parents raising their alarm because they all are on high alert right now. Because like I said, 3 gone within a week? Shit crazy, fool. I'm just hoping they can find all 3 of them. I'm just here to spread awareness. Because, like I said, that's not normal, fool. So if you're in San Antonio, especially Bexar County, and you got like a Ring doorbell or just surveillance, anything that can help get these girls found and brought home, call your local authority. Send your tapes in, send everything that can help find these girls and bring them home.
Now, I believe the first girl, they found her body just the other day. So there's something sketchy going on out there, y'all.
We have a problem with these oil refineries leaving California. If Valero's going to leave and take a $1.1 billion loss, to me, that's a red flag. Like, what do you think about that?
Think about what $1 billion is.
It's massive.
If a company is going to willingly walk away from $1 billion, how bad must California actually be for their business that they're willing to lose $1 billion just to get out of it? That's bad.
That's insane.
That should, every single Californian should be saying, what in the world? I mean, every business owner in California should be scratching their heads thinking, I'm in the same place.
Because businesses are in business to make money.
Yeah.
Not to lose money.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to take that type of loss, it's just a reflection of what's going on here in California.
I mean, these are the highest taxed states. California, New York, Chicago. You know, I just saw some clips yesterday. I might do it on my second channel, thinking about it now, but people from New York saying, you know, how terrible it is out there. You know, boots on the ground, New York, how terrible it is. That there's rats everywhere, there's trash everywhere, it's filthy, it's nasty, it stinks when you're laying on the ground in Central Park, the floor stinks. Like, these are the most high taxed places, y'all, and the most liberal places. You would think they would be immaculate, right? They would be immaculate, but they're the worst places to be in the country. Where's all that money going?
The real truth, the truth about the Devil's Cave is a natural cave. When they were doing this road, they used dynamite to blow up the hill. So it appears. It's a natural cave. It's less than 10 yards deep. Why the name of the devil? Because of the smell inside. It smelled like a sulfur. So, see, that's why. So, now the Icebox Hill. Well, the name.
Listen to what this guy says about Freemasons and the Bible.
Let's talk about like what the Freemasons are.
Yeah.
When you get into some of the Freemasonic rituals, do you know who the master builder is that they worship? It's King Solomon from the Bible, because King Solomon built the temple. That's what Masons are. They're builders. They're they're the guild of Masons. And so when they do if you go into a Masonic lodge, they do this elaborate ceremony about Solomon, because he got the blueprint, basically the dimensions for the temple from God. And what Solomon did as the king of Israel is he had all of the different desert tribes from the Middle East come to the kingdom of Israel. It made Israel very rich. They would come and do trade and pay homage to Israel. But what Solomon did is he started to pay homage to their deities. So they would come from all the different Middle Eastern kingdoms with their own deities, probably demons. And Solomon would basically give sacrifices maybe, or worship those demons. That's ultimately why God punished him. And so that is what the Masons are involved in. It's sort of like it's heavily involved with demons. It's based on Jewish mysticism. Nobody talks about this, but Jews in the world are very mystical. There's a very long-standing mystic tradition. People don't realize this, but you have Jews and they read the Talmud, and the Talmud is just like a legal code. So they have like tons of books. But there's another aspect of Judaism which is very mystical. It's called Kabbalah.
Yeah.
And that is something that is very much a part of their theology and very much a part of their religion. And Kabbalism is kind of where all of the occult springs from. Like if you get into Aleister Crowley, if you get into the Masonic stuff, the Illuminati, it all really comes from Kabbalah. It all comes from like the Zohar. It all comes from those, let's say, hermeneutics about the book of Genesis, the books of Moses.
It's not good to see that. Like they gave up on something and said, abandon shit. We'll get them next time.
If you're wondering why it's taking forever for target clearance to drop from 50 to 70 to eventually 90, that's because corporate made a big change that is actually turning this clearance event into a slow burn. Target corporate told its stores that instead of salvaging on January 1st like they normally do, they're going to salvage on January 9th this year. Heard that straight from the manager's mouth. Also, if you're wondering what salvage is, it's basically when the store at the end of the holiday clearance event packs up everything into boxes and either sends it back to corporate or they sell it at a much lower price to a liquidator or one of those bin stores that can basically try to turn a profit. Basically, it's literally what the word means, salvage. It's the store trying to recoup any losses from not being able to sell the merchandise. That means this is going to be a slow burn in terms of clearance. We're going to be waiting longer for Christmas to go down to 70% off and then eventually to 90. They're holding off on putting out any Valentine's Day stuff yet because they're going to try to squeeze out every single dollar they can by
Greedy bastards, man.
So just be patient, wait. If there's something you really want, it's probably worth grabbing right now at 50. Otherwise, wait until it drops to 70 and then eventually 90% off. But just remember, salvage is now on January 9th instead of the 1st.
Like, I think they would rather much throw it away. Throw it away than to let the people who keep Target open by us spending our money there. They would rather throw it away in their garbage can, put a lock on it, or cut everything in half before they let us get it for 80, 90%, y'all. I truly believe that. I think they would rather throw it away than let us get a discount on something. That's how greedy they are now. Like, what happened to good business? Christmas is over. It's 50%, 70% off. That's just how it is. You guys take a loss. It didn't sell, right? Give it to us for 50%. No, we'd rather throw it away or burn it in the back than give it to you for 70% off.
7 things you didn't know about the Las Vegas tragedy, part 4. No way that's going to So we talked about how this massacre may have been because of an arms deal gone wrong and that Stephen may have been secretly working for the government as an arms dealer. There's another theory that ties into this, saying that it was part of a failed assassination attempt against a royal from Saudi Arabia who was in Las Vegas apparently at the same time. And that person was Mohammed bin Salman. Apparently he was in Vegas at the same time. Someone within his family was essentially trying to take him out in order to get power. But things unraveled and eventually led to the whole massacre. And then people started talking about how the SWAT team was in a nearby casino called the Tropicana, and it looked kind of suspicious because there was 2 people not in uniform that they were escorting. And this was just minutes after the shooting happened. You'll notice they all have different uniforms, and the 2 people in the back are not in uniform. Like, who are they? We have to talk about how Stephen's dad was once on the FBI's most wanted list for 10 years. So Stephen's dad was once a bank robber, and he eventually got arrested and put in prison, but he escaped for 10 years and went under like a fake name, opened up a casino, and then eventually got in trouble with that business, but it was nothing to do with the fact that he was a bank robber on the FBI's most wanted list. He never did jail time for it because all he had to do was pay a $100,000 fee, which was like $600,000 nowadays, and he ended up living out the rest of his life in Texas. Like, how does that even work unless you have some really high connections in the government? Another weird thing is that Stephen's brother ended up getting busted for having a bunch of messed up images of children, if you know what I mean, but he never did any jail time and got off pretty much scot-free. Again, how does that happen unless you have some high connections in the government? So the idea that he was working for the government secretly as an arms dealer isn't that crazy. And I got some requests to do the Aurora tragedy that happened at the theater. If you guys want to deep dive on that, let me know.
Planets are the fallen angels. The names for them are the Roman gods and goddesses. They live on a spinning globe because they're in the firmament. If you go to a store that sells baby stuff, there's planets, outer space, dinosaurs on like baby's clothing. They have bassinets over a baby's crib and it's outer space.
Or future astronaut on t-shirts.
It's so weird.
NASA fanboy.
NASA in itself means to deceive. It's the same Hebrew word as the serpent deceiving Eve, and they have a snake tongue in their logo. And it's like,
but fucking tour makes $1 billion. It's no way the lead guy of the tour makes only $77 million.
That's what selling your soul looks like right there.
Ridiculous.
Apparently, I'm not.
You know, that's what selling your soul looks like. You gross $1 billion, they give you 77 million. Now that sounds like a lot to us, right? That sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But compared to $1 billion, that's like 100,000 to us or whatever, right? It's not a lot. That's 77 million. But that's what they'll make you famous while you make them rich. You can have all the fame. You can walk down the street and I'll be able to, walk in the mall and you'll get ambushed and you'll never be free. You're famous. We'll take all the money and we'll be walking right next to you and nobody will know who we are, right? They'll make you rich while you make them famous.
Releasing this information, but I feel it's my duty to do so because no one's talking about this. So let's chat about Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, and Erica Kirk. What is really going on behind the scenes and what's happening right now? So I did a deep dive and I remote viewed the entire situation. Now I remote viewed this before and what came through was that this had nothing to do with one person going after Charlie Kirk. This had everything to do with the shadow government. And this time what I gathered was so deep. It was so much information, but let me try and relay it as best and fast as possible. So apparently Charlie signed contracts back in 2012, right as his career was picking up. And these contracts unwittingly aligned him to a shadow government. It essentially said that he was willing to be a pawn. He did not realize what he was signing, and he really thought that this was going to be for the betterment of humanity. Years later, they, being this sort of group of individuals, start asking him to say certain things and believe in certain things and sort of promote certain ideas. Now, although these ideas that they wanted him to promote went against his own, every time he obliged, he would get a boost in donations and a boost in audience. He said that most of what he talked about was him, but there was about 10 to 20%, especially in the last couple of years, that was not him at all. It was this group wanting him to say these things. Eventually, he didn't want to comply anymore, and that caused a lot of issues, and this group in particular went after him. Now, the most explosive part about this is that when I was talking to Charlie Kirk on the other side, gathering all this information and so much more, he was also joined by his wife, Erica Kirk. I was quite confused because I'm seeing Erica in many interviews talking about Turning Point Organization and this book that she's promoting. Turns out they ended up taking over her body, they being this group, kind of like a possession or a body snatching situation. They are using her body as a pawn to influence this group of people. Meanwhile, she has been completely kicked out and she is no longer present anymore. Who you are seeing is not Erica Kirk. I repeat, it is not Erica Kirk. If you want to know more, please go check out my video, Charlie Kirk, Erica Kirk, and Candace Owens. I go so much deeper. It's on YouTube. If it's taken off YouTube, then go check it out on my website, completely ad-free right now.
President of Mexico. She goes to this witchcraft ceremony. She claims to be Jewish. Now the detractors say, oh, no, that's just kind of indigenous. To me, you have corruption. You have occult religious leaders, church leaders blending together. And then you see what I think was Taylor Swift with the Super Bowl, scantily dressed with, I think, flames on it, riding the back of this big golden beast. Again, the devil hides in plain sight. I think you're always going to see this corruption and militating against the truth.
Look, I'm going to show y'all something. There's nobody around these people. They're recording for TV. Look. They're down here like, come on, cheer louder, cheer more. And then you're going to see this on TV and you're going to think that there's like 1 billion people down here. But look, there's really not.
There's a snake around Jesus' feet. He's on a snake. Why is Jesus on a snake?
Why? It goes all the way up around the other guy. Who are the other things? The other guys next to him. Who are those guys? But he's got it wrapped around his foot too.
Oh, they're bound to the same red robe.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Kundalini.
They're bound to the same red robe. The red robe that binds them all.
That's a man and a woman. That's representing the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Being linked in with Jesus Christ and the throne all together. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah. All right, there are 124 people watching live right now. This is so awesome. Thank you so much, fam. Thank you so very much. This place is gigantic. We got Batman. I'm Batman with 4 N's, 25, and Dragon Jedi 44. All right, give them a follow. Oh, yeah. We were in this. We were down there in the hall. I'll walk through it one more time. Hey, Joe Diesel, is this the Vatican? No, we are in the Boston Public Library right now, believe it or not. You would think it's the Vatican. There would have been a deity right here. See this? There would have been a deity inside of here. All these places, you see where these guys are walking? You see that behind them? There would have been a deity statue standing right here. Those are flood painting.
There's a lot of cool symbols in these games.
Epstein's Kindle purchases get released. I will say it's very interesting. In the beginning, he's reading books like Conversations with a Mathematician, Exploring Randomness, even the Jesus Dynasty, A Hidden History of Jesus. And then he starts picking up books about family wealth management, The Story of a Practical Idealist. He also purchases at least 4 separate books, digital books on Donald Trump, another book about gay Catholic priests, another one titled The Serious Guide to Joke Writing, which is not about gay Catholic priests. However, it does appear that his interests start changing a little bit in 2014 with the books The Man from ORGY. It's a man who studies intimate relations, and he studies it and he loves it, and it makes studying intimate relations even easier, along with purchases like The Complete Guide of Men Pilates, The Physics of Immortality, which is about how humans can be resurrected, which Virginia Dufresne states in her memoir, quote, "I'll tell you one thing though, While I've read that Epstein was buried in an unmarked grave not far from his parents in Palm Beach, Florida, I don't believe that at all. Epstein had repeatedly told me exactly what would happen when he died. His body would be placed in some sort of cryogenic chamber to be preserved until technology advanced far enough back to bring him back to life. That's what he always bragged to me, with that satisfied smirk on his face. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I wouldn't bet against the notion that he somehow got his way on this.
Egypt is the weirdest place on earth. It really is.
I went there last July.
Did you walk away thinking immediately, there's a lot we don't know?
100%. Yeah. And what they tell you is complete bullshit.
Yeah. I have a friend who went there, and the archaeologist that showed him it said this is complete bullshit. Like, the narrative is complete bullshit. Yeah. He said the scale of it and the technology involved in construction is beyond our current understanding of how to do this.
And it's not just the pyramids and the Sphinx.
No.
The other temples are magnificent.
Not only that, there's probably a bunch of shit under the ground.
I know. That's what I wanted to go see. But the cool thing was the first temple I went in was what I'd seen on Ancient Aliens, where at the very top of the temple, you have one of the most famous hieroglyphs, which has a spaceship, a helicopter, and a submarine up there. As clear as you can possibly imagine. And
Show that.
What the fuck is that? How in the... What is that? Explain that.
What if in the museums, these are like real animals that they killed and just restuffed? It make you look at the museum different now, don't it? Like they actually went and killed these animals. So imagine the exhibits that like show like ancient people, the people. Y'all kind of get what I'm getting at? If they killed these animals and restuffed them and threw them in the goddamn museum. Like,
I mean, they look
y'all
legit.
saw that movie House of Wax. Just look into it. But yeah, what y'all think?
Really like what a condition 1 in Antarctica is really like.
Negative 100.
Check this out. This is the entryway to our dorm. Normally this has carpet on the ground and the walls are just normally walls, you know, but we're gonna open the door right now. It's a little bit like opening up
Cole
the door
just
to
watching
another
it.
world. Are you ready? It's a little bit blowy out there right now.
Screw that.
When they say don't look up, it means you should probably be looking up. So y'all know how I've been showing you very strange skies lately, all over the world? Well, now something weird is going on with the birds. Literally just perched on random things, not moving. And you know, birds, if you don't know, they spend a lot of time in the sky. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe a little bit? Believe it or not, this right here has been happening a ton lately. Look at all those birds. So yeah, I have no idea. I guess maybe we'll just never know, huh? It's me. Every day it seems like there's some crazy stuff in the sky, and I have some other things to show you guys in a minute. What would y'all say that this is? We do projections, UFOs, UAPs, angels. I would guess a spiritual entity. The same with this one, but no, they're saying this is the country's new weapon, right? But what's funny is we used to see these in the sky all the time last year, and they said it was SpaceX. I'm pretty freaking sure that SpaceX is just to cover up the trail and the path flights.
I've seen that before.
I mean, how else would they know when these meteors or devil's comets are coming? By the way, did you guys see the doomsday skies in Florida the other day? I don't think I've ever seen it so red outside. I'm telling you guys, something is coming. I don't know when, but I know it is.
Do you know anyone in the Illuminati?
No.
Are you in the Illuminati?
No.
Are you a part of the Illuminati?
No? Are you in the Illuminati? You're a very angry person.
Are you a part of the Illuminati? Yes. No, I'm not. Did that come up as a lie when I said yes?
Yes, that's true.
Oh, see? That means I'm not.
As fellow Disney stars, are you all in a secret Illuminati-like club?
No.
Is it because you can't tell me if you are?
No.
Is that true, Sam?
Inconclusive.
Are you part of the Illuminati?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Is that really the truth?
No.
Is the Illuminati real?
I think they are.
Do you know?
No, I don't know anyone in there.
Does she know?
She's telling the truth. And don't you even think that that's because I'm a part of it. Because I know some of you are going to do that nonsense, okay?
I don't know why they're hiding it. We began to find ancient cities that we could find because the ice was melting so quickly. And you can see the wall structure. So we found 5 cities, all right? If the ice has been there for at least 34 million years or less, that's ancient civilization that nobody talks about. Now, when we found evidence of that, when I posted it on the website, it always got blurred out. So thank goodness I saved the pictures.
Let's be honest, I've never been there. You've probably never been there. But we both can agree that Antarctica is a fascinating subject and there is something going on there. Let's deal with the facts. In 1959, the whole world agreed and signed the Antarctica Treaty, even the US and Russia at the height of the Cold War. Now what's going on there, we can only speculate, but there is definitely a reason why they do not want us there. That place outdates us by a long shot, so what have they found there? Is there something that was frozen in time? And is it these civilizations, if you've read Admiral Byrd's diary? I'll let you guys discuss it in the comments. Let's have a chat about it.
Excuse me, officer? Can I please have a sticker? It looks super familiar. Can you help me get this out, Wayne back?
No. No sticker?
Thank you so much. You look super familiar. Are you Charlie?
What was that?
Are you Charlie?
I don't know what you were talking about.
What's your name?
I just told you, Austin Kirchin.
Oh my god, you look super familiar.
Yeah, mummy. Y'all, do you guys ever see those people that look just like somebody, sound just like them, make the same facial features as them? I remember when I used to work, I didn't work for Total Wine, but I used to stock the shelves in Total Wine, like for a third party company. And there was this guy, a coworker, right? And he looked like the dude from ESPN that does the boxing. I forget his name. He does boxing and he's on ESPN now. But anyway, he looked just like him. He sounded just like him. The same. It's just so crazy how people have these doubles, y'all. That dude just stands out to me. That he talked just like him, knew sports just like him, and damn near identical with that dude. And we all got him out there. There's always there. We've always heard when we were little, that was like the first conspiracy we were ever born to. Like there's somebody that is identical to you out there in the world. There's always 2 of you.
In Alaska, all the way to Ohio, they found 3,000 mummies in one cave in Kentucky, and they just burnt almost all of them. They used the mummies to burn because they needed to heat up the rock to collect it, to mine it. So they were just burning these mummies. That's what was happening. At least 3,000. And they had high dollar investors who were buying the really special one, probably the ones that were covered in ornate inscriptions. They're finding not only giants, but crazy stuff that no one has an explanation for. And looking at them here in 2023, it definitely, I think the timing couldn't be better to facilitate people seeing what these people were writing about 150 years ago or more.
We are going to stumble upon the truth, and it takes usually X amount of years. And this is when they start looking at, I don't know if they can trigger a reset or if they just happen to coincide, but all this information is coming out. Imagine what 7 more years is going to look like.
Just seems like unstoppable at this point. It's just what's the damage going to be?
Yo, we really got to talk about Cabot Phillips' pizza tattoo. Have you guys seen this? Seriously, I had to double check this to see if it was actually real. But sure enough, this is on his Instagram even still today. He's got pizza tattooed on the inside of his lip. And this is from 2019. Are you seriously telling me he's never heard of Pizzagate? I think I speak for everyone when I say, what the heck, bro? Seriously? You like pizza that much? Maybe he does, but I doubt it's Domino's. Why would you do that? Guys, this guy is a senior editor at the Daily Wire. You know, Ben Shapiro's outfit? And now he's speaking for TPUSA. He's fighting like Charlie, which is really interesting considering that he dated Erica Kirk. Remember when she told Barry Weiss she was not dating before Charlie? And then it turns out, actually, she was dating this guy who likes pizza a lot. So guys, really, what's up with the tattoo? Do you guys buy the guy really liked pizza that much?
2025 will go down as the year where we all realized, oh, all these big corporations and the government hate the people that they say that they serve. They're not here to help us. They are here to take all of your money and
assist in helping you lose all of your limbs and your teeth. You know, in Latin, the word government, right? The word govern in Latin is to restrict or control. And the word ment, M-E-N-T, is the Latin root for the word mind. So the word government in Latin literally is like restrict your mind or control your mind. It's the government.
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Hashtag look it up.
Part of why Hollywood's been in decline is because of them. Him, the podcast, they're stealing
I didn't know, it was news to me.
They're stealing all the fucking attention and time in the day from the movie business. The movie business, they hate him.
A Baphomet figure inside the White House. Now, I know this appears to be true, but President Trump did not do this. This has always been there before Trump became president. However, it's still interesting, but this is what's even crazier if you look at this. So this is an occult symbol. This is the Baphomet, but this is where it goes even deeper. If you look at the mirror and look below the mirror, you have your Freemasonic symbol, the double-headed eagle, an eagle looking right, an eagle looking left. This is the 33rd degree symbol for the 33rd degree Freemason, the double-headed eagle. Ordo ad chaos, order out of chaos, 33. You can see the similarities here. So this is all occult symbolism.
You don't find it odd how Amelia Earhart, who attempted to be the first person to circumnavigate the globe north to south, never returned? You don't find that a little bit fishy? Because so many people have been able to circumnavigate east to west, but no one in the history of humanity has ever been able to circumnavigate north to south. Well,
Still
why
to this day?
Well, if you understand that we don't actually live on a globe, and the Earth is not necessarily flat, but it's a plane of existence, and we are in a massive torus field on the electromagnetic plane of inertia, then you'll understand that the source of the magnetic field is the center. So north is the center of the realm. All compasses point to the center of the realm, not the center of the globe, okay? And here's the thing about that. A compass would be constantly spinning and going haywire 24/7, and they would not work if we lived on a globe and the source of the magnetic field was the iron core in the center. How would you be able to go to the top of the globe with a compass that is directing you to the north, which is inside the Earth? You wouldn't be able to go to the North Pole if we were on a globe. The compass wouldn't direct you there. And the south is the Arctic Circle. It's not Antarctica. They call it that on purpose. It's an inversion. It's the Arctic Circle that holds all the waters in. Maybe there's a firmament over there. Who knows? But this is literally a video of Red Bull kayaking down the ice wall. Come on, it's in our faces, guys, but this video was for entertainment purposes only.
Erica Kirk's other ex-boyfriend from 2015. Have y'all heard the latest with Erica Kirk, man? This guy right here. Everybody's trying to say she had a kid with this guy. And no, this is not that Kabat guy with the Daily Wire. You know, he was in 2017. But look, why does Kabat have pizza, what is that, tattooed or something on his lip? And then it says, good to give yourself a little reminder sometimes. What does that even mean? Hang tight, I'm gonna show y'all a video. Look, her, him, and a little kid holding up a Trump sign. Kind of strange. Anyways, this dude's JT Massey. Look, prepping another couple's gallery for delivery. Huh, is that some kind of, that's what people are saying, but no, it's obviously not. But they were definitely a couple, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. I mean, nobody says, oh, she's not allowed to date, yada, yada, yada. What people are concerned with is she was telling everybody that she didn't date or anything, and it's just not matching the story as far as I heard. Y'all watch right here now. I'm not saying it's their kid or anything, but this kid is fixing to be standing in between it. Now, did he have it? Was it his daughter or something? Like, was this his kid already and she was just dating him? Is that how that is? everybody's wondering, everybody's like, whoa, what's really going on? So yeah, can anybody know? But yeah, if you're still here, man, you know, this is obviously Charlie, but this right here, that's that Cabot guy. Cabot and Charlie, September 2017. Cabot and her, September 2017. So what are the odds, like the likelihood that they were dating? Yeah, we're that couple who gets painting lessons together, like little finger painting, probably. That's why pictures, but no, I think finger paint might be kind of like cooler, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, yeah, I don't know, man. What are y'all's thoughts on this? I mean, obviously at this point, I feel like it's always a big TV show, to an extent, you know what I mean? Because then we got people like Candace, and people are dogging out the dude that she brought on, saying he's a fraud and he's this and he's that. All we really know in this world is what we hear. And you know, a lot of people's opinions are based off of others. Like, people can see like a post on one of my pages where a couple people will hate me. Oh, I can't stand you. You're so dumb. And then everybody else, they're all joining in together, you know, basing their opinions off of, well, this guy's a blah, 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 just from seeing other people comment it, instead of like stopping, going through videos, like with her, you know what I'm saying, with the Candace thing, stopping, going through videos, and she does go from one extreme to another, and her videos are very, very up and down, and I just don't know about this one right here, y'all. I really don't. You know, I was reading her comments on her YouTube when she first, not this video, but the one before that, after the Erica meeting, every single comment was people, you're so dumb, I hate you, Candace, you liar, blah, blah, blah. Like, people were going crazy, dude. As soon as she posts this guy right here, though, everybody's like, oh, Candace, we knew you're okay. Yeah, you're great. It's like, whoa, what? And she was trying to say it was bots. Oh, yeah, the bots are in. No, these weren't bots. These are all very real people who are just tired of being jerked around. Yeah, let's try to figure something out. Y'all have a good day.
If you delete iMessages, Telegram, WhatsApp, they get into it. They can get it back. It's crazy. They can get it back. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it. You can't, like...
Abramovich, a lot of talk about her paintings, who she's around. Charles, that has the painting of Pentagram, or Lucifer himself that's in the painting. But it's hidden. Is any of it a coincidence?
I don't think there's any coincidence.
I mean, I don't either.
There's three types of curses: natural curses, there's generational curses, and then there's these preternatural curses. Within that, you have things like Freemasonry, theurgy, alchemy, and what we call pelican witchcraft. Pelican witchcraft, or those types of witchcrafts, used more bodily. Again, a mockery of the Holy Eucharist.
Do you think that the purchaser of the painting understands what's inside there?
Yeah, I do.
So Hollywood got the entire concept of vampires from an actual derivative human species.
Oh, they're still amongst us, man. They love it, right? The fictionalization of their existence, the Hollywood depictions. These people are thousands of years old, and you guys are sitting around watching Twilight, right? Look, when you go back to the first ever vampire story written, it was by a guy named John Polidori in 1816. But what people didn't read was his memoir, which they tried covering up, called The Night Ruthven Drank My House, okay, which detailed a really brutally horrific encounter of which he literally described in a fully disclosed non-fictional manner as these human-looking creatures with animalistic teeth who'd came into his house in Italy when he was roughly 12 or 13 years old and pillaged his family, leaving him as the sole survivor of what local police dubbed an animal attack. It all gets perceived as fiction by the public. Meanwhile, they're still running rampant till this day.
Do y'all think that we don't see mythical creatures anymore because the rich elite eat them all? Every old culture has stories about unicorns and mermaids and griffins, dragons, little forest fucking guys. And you know, I can hear the argument that we grew out of superstition, that's why we don't talk about mythical creatures anymore. I don't know, but maybe the question isn't, were mythical creatures real, but why aren't they around anymore? But here's a theory that I'm just going to put gently onto the table. What if the reason we don't see unicorns or mermaids anymore is because the rich already ate all of them? Or maybe they caught them all and they're just sitting on compounds, you know, waiting to be harvested. You know, billionaires are already out there trying to live forever, so you don't think at some point someone looked at a mermaid and went, that thing probably has incredible antioxidants. I mean, all through history, the elite have always believed that rare animals had magical properties. Kings were grinding up rhino horn, they were drinking fucking mercury, they were eating powdered mummies. You know, all about that one. You know, it could just be the fact that none of these mystical creatures are actually real, but I can kind of think whatever I want to think. But I do sit and think about the fact that rich already eat endangered animals now. Look at the Tasmanian tiger. We've already hunted animals to extinction already. It could be a coincidence there aren't any more left, or it could be a menu change.
Because we all know what they're probably eating now.
Y'all, this is the real time. I never unplugged this clock ever. The current time is supposed to be 8:26 p.m. But this is your real time. Even though time doesn't exist, this is the man-made time. It's 10:05 p.m. They did not just set the clock back for 1 hour. They threw it back for 2. Ashe.
Nearly 30 years ago, Americans predicted what would happen by the year 2025, and the results are pretty stunning. 75% of them believe that there would be the emergence of a new deadly disease. 74% said that gay marriage would be legal and commonplace. 69% predicted that the country would have its first black president. And even before the internet was widely used, 56% said that most stores would be replaced by online shopping. And 52% said that by 2025, most people will work from home. But they were also wrong about a lot. The same group predicted that by 2025, we would have cured cancer and AIDS. So awkward. They thought the US would have had its first female president. They believed that people would routinely live to 100 and that physician-assisted would be commonplace.
What are some of the big things, in particular in Missouri, that you found that were really interesting?
The things they found in Missouri are crazy. They found, Egyptian ruins, cities full of pyramids, but they're building that beautiful bridge there in St. Louis that crosses the Mississippi. And when they were running the pylons, they're blowing the rock and they blast their way into a tunnel. And they found a whole city with paved streets, carved stone, fountains, completely buried with a roof over its head. That seems absolutely absurd. That to me is far from absurd, and that in almost all states that you find with mining especially, or well digging, that they run into buried cities. And this is all over. Farmers are digging a well, they hit a city. Like, how do you explain that? And when you dig deep enough, you go, okay, this has happened several times. Like, yeah, of course there are ruins everywhere, but here's the kicker. It's cities built on cities on cities.
Maybe the elite are like, the best way to bury something is to absolutely dominate it and cement it over and put skyscrapers there and all that stuff.
Wipe it clean, yeah.
You ever notice, bro? There's like a random ass like chick or random dude hitting you up on IG,
or following you.
Yeah, or just like a random people following you on IG, Now, if you're a good civilian, you don't gotta worry about shit. But if you're somebody doing some illegal shit, on the low, you have something to worry about, Many people get too comfortable, bro, and they start posting anything. Cash, luxuries, watches, blocks. Well, let me tell you, man. For example, like, look at this shorty right here. I'm gonna post right here, right? I was talking to my lawyer. You know what she told me? Believe it or not, it's like police. When it comes to police work, they make fake IG accounts of like a good looking chick, and they download these images and they use their pictures and they post every here and there.
Okay.
And then they follow you, you're gonna follow them back. But hell nah, that's a cop. So you know what Now Google, shout out to the Google app, they got a reverse image. You feel me? So what you gotta do, man, you go to Google, download the Google app. I'm gonna show y'all right here on the screen, man. Y'all go to the Google app, y'all click on the camera app, and y'all go to images. And then right here on the screen, man, what's called any image that you could put on, screenshot the profile of the IG account and post it right here on search, and Google is gonna take it directly to where that picture is posted. Shout out to Google, bro. Now you could find out, bro, like if that's a fake account or not. Because they download those images from Instagram, Twitter, or something, man. Wherever they post it online, bro, Google's gonna take you directly. Man, what do y'all think though, bro? Like police using like that tactic, to draw in like some dealers. You feel me?
I mean, it's
I
smart.
think that shit's popular now.
It works.
It's a smart tactic.
It's a smart tactic
to catch
right?
people for sure. Because there are those thirsty.
Yeah, believe what I'm saying, man. Like for the people who are sloppy, I mean, it even states it in the word, from ancient history, it states, sometimes, even the wisest, strongest man,
the downfall.
Yeah, that was the downfall. You feel me, man? So
every man has their own little.
What I'm saying, man? Sometimes you just gotta learn how to get so you don't fall into that trap. Get killed or, Colombia stories and shit, Let me know what you guys think on this, man. What's it called? Y'all think this is something new or it's been around? Or shout out to Google, for exposing this to a police tactic, man.
Shout out Google.
Hell yeah, dog.
Coming in clutch.
Proof that.
I mean, people are dumb, y'all. I don't understand people that would do crimes, would do whatever, and then either put it in a song or post it online or brag about it while you're live or do crimes while you're live. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, y'all. Like, but yeah, why wouldn't a cop do that? They don't got to go sit on the corner no more and stake out no more. They can just sit at home and watch your live and get you right there. Screen record. We got proof, you know? Idiots, man.
Is evil.
Look at her. She's so sweet.
That's all. And it's all these rappers that are doing it. And the young kids see it and be like, "Oh, he's doing it. I'm gonna do it, right? I'm gonna post my money. I'm gonna do." It's these rappers that are misleading, that aren't doing it in real life, but they're misleading the younger generation and leading them to hell.
Yeah, I did magic on my brother yesterday. Don't talk, sweetheart. It's okay. You're a silly man. I can talk to kids.
See, Paul.
I know.
Because, you know, we don't, that's a lot of people right there.
In that IG live clip, we clearly see Kevin Gates and what seems to be his daughter. Kevin Gates for a long time has claimed to have powers from a world we can't see. So in the midst of him talking about him and his daughter being powerful, we hear her say, "I did magic on my brother yesterday." It's at that point that Kevin Gates covers her mouth and starts shaking his head. We even hear the little girl say, "Why did you cover my mouth?" And Kevin Gates reply, "You know, there's just too many people on here." What? I also found these cover arts of Kevin Gates showing a little symbolism. Here we see him covering his mouth. Some say that's the vow of silence. And here we see more of the symbolism. Keep in mind, this is the same man who went on multiple interviews and podcasts and claimed that he turned a car battery back on with his bare hands. People have long hypothesized that magic, magicians, and a link to the other side exist in Hollywood and entertainment. Comment below. Let me know. Am I onto something or am I tripping? Wake up.
Who had
He stole the wrong
predicted by
motherfucker's
Ivo Noah
money.
did not come as expected, which angered the thousands of believers who had gathered there to await its arrival. Ivo Noah had claimed that God warned him of a global flood and said only those who joined him would be saved. In preparation, he announced that he had built 8 large wooden arks. His message spread quickly online, and an estimated 280,000 people traveled to stay near him, seeking protection. Many followers also donated large sums of money to support the project. When December 25 passed, with no signs of flooding, frustration and panic
Sunny
grew
days.
among the crowd.
Sunny days.
Some followers began questioning where their money had gone after reports surfaced that Ivo Noah had used donations to purchase luxury items, including a Mercedes-Benz. As tensions rose, a group of angry followers surrounded Ivo Noah. Witnesses say the situation became chaotic before local authorities intervened. Police later took Ivo Noah into custody for his own safety and to prevent further escalation. Authorities have now launched an investigation into possible fraud and misuse of donations. Many former supporters say they feel deceived and are demanding answers, refunds, and legal action. Should Ivo Noah be held fully accountable for what happened, or should followers share responsibility for believing him in the first place? What do you
They saying he ain't follow the script, so was he supposed to lose the fight? It's crazy because Anthony just won the fight with Jake Paul, right? And then he gets in an accident. He survives. The people that he with don't survive, right? My condolences to the family. This is crazy, right? But this is just, it sounds very, very suspect, bro. It's something that's tied with these contracts, bro. That is always something weird happening after they get a big win. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't trust none of these industries. But they say Joshua sustained only minor injuries and was rescued from the wreckage. But the other 2, that's crazy, bro. Like, they was driving wild.
I'm gonna put anyone in jail if you know what to do. How? You set them up. You create the situation to where they have no choice but to act on their impulse. And once they act on that impulse, then we call that entrapment. We call it a nudge.
A nudge.
A nudge. Sometimes you just gotta give them a quick little, just to see what happens, right?
And how does that happen?
You put a post out there, or you have someone fake profile say something that triggers, that we know is going to trigger them, right? Like, we already know your history. If we're to that point, we already know everything about it. So you're like, oh, this will piss them off. Sometimes you light the fuse and just wait for it to follow. Definitely putting out a fake social media thing to like really get people mad. Post fake news. Sometimes it's not fake. It's embellished a little bit.
Well, there you have it, y'all. Straight from the camel's mouth, right? The feds are watching. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, y'all. If you made it this far, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. First video of 2026. It's been a rough start to 2026, y'all. I'm trying to switch up my eating. I'm trying to figure it out, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just trying a calorie deficit, high protein. And when you do that, everything else just falls in place, y'all. But something in my mind saying I need to do this. I don't know. Like, I'm all over the place with it, but I'm trying to get it figured out, y'all, because honestly, I've been doing keto for like 3 years since I've been living out here, and I gained 50 pounds. So obviously it's not for me, right? Not at this moment in life, right? So I'm just trying to get something. I'm just trying to figure something out, get the ball rolling, get the scale moving the right way, to get the motivation up. I'm starting to work out in the gym, which is going good. I'm enjoying working out in the gym. I'm having good workouts, eating these carbs, right? But I just feel like carbs are the enemy, because I've been trying this keto thing for so long, and I've seen so much propaganda online of this. Don't do, it'll never work if you do this. And I'm just trying to switch that mindset up, y'all. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm a little grumpy, I'm a little sore, I'm a little hungry. Those are 3 bad combinations, y'all, but I just try to get over this hump and you know, see how it goes. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. I'm gonna go react to a video on my second channel. We're getting back into Gen Z not wanting to have kids. We're gonna get into that discussion over there. If you guys are interested, it's gonna pop up over here. Click on my channel, go down there, subscribe. Video will be up if you're watching this. If not, little playlist is gonna pop up over here. Go down that rabbit hole, y'all. See you guys on the next one. This is Segovia signing on the Man Cave. Later.